Course of action? There is none. It will be so recorded. Ian McKelvey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Without security there can be no democracy, and likewise with no democracy there will be no security. Mr. Speaker, it seems a little odd, I guess, that I've got to remind the opposition, or that I feel the need to remind the opposition, that the rush around this bill and the need to, in fact, introduce this bill at all was created in 2004 by some inept legislation put in place by that very opposition that's criticising this bill we have in the House now. We've heard from at least 3 senior members of this House this afternoon, Mr. Speaker, criticising this bill. Most of them spent most of the speech time they had talking about something quite contrary to this bill. This bill is a very simple bill. It updates existing provisions that were put in place, as I said earlier, by the Labor government in 2004. It modernises the existing requirements for telcos to assist with interception under warrant, and it introduces a formal framework to protect network security. Mr. Speaker, I want to very briefly comment on one topic that's been raised by the last speaker. I want to talk about encryption, as this bill does not and cannot insist on encryption services being provided when the encryption tools are held by an independent provider. Mr. Speaker, the very best war stories and spy stories all contain most intriguing lines on code breakers. I don't know what's changed now, Mr. Speaker. Finally, I just want to comment very briefly on what I thought was amazing advice that we had from a very competent team of advisers in what was a pretty technical bill for us to understand. And I think the Select Committee has done pretty well getting through this bill in the manner it has, Mr. Speaker, and getting it back to the House in the form it has. I also want to congratulate the Minister for her understanding of the bill and the way she's presented to the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Gareth Hughes, 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr.